Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day.
Is this the breaking news alert that just completely shattered the basketball universe? What you are about to hear is not a rumor, it is not speculation, and it is not a drill. A massive, unprecedented move has just been made that will fundamentally alter the entire landscape of women's basketball forever. The unthinkable has actually happened. After weeks of enduring the most toxic, disgusting, and deliberate coaching sabotage in the history of professional sports, Caitlin Clark has officially reached her breaking point. She has packed her bags, slammed the door on the Indiana Fever franchise, and has just signed a jaw-dropping, historic $1 million contract to completely abandon the WNBA. And the absolute best part? The superstars who threw her this $1 million lifeline just went on national television and completely destroyed head coach Stephanie White, leaving her literally in tears as her franchise burns to the ground. Let us rewind and unpack the sheer magnitude of this historical betrayal. For the last several weeks, the basketball world has watched in absolute horror as Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White allowed her fragile, uncontrollable ego to completely hijack the team, because she was deeply jealous of. The media attention and the fan obsession surrounding her superstar rookie, Coach White executed the most brain-dead tactical decision in basketball history. She deliberately took the basketball out of Caitlin Clark's hands, benched her elite playmaking, shoved her into the corner as a decoy, and completely removed the greatest point guard on the planet from the offensive game plan. It was a calculated, vicious sabotage designed to humble Caitlin and prove that Stephanie White was the one in charge. But Stephanie White forgot one incredibly important detail. Caitlin Clark is the biggest athletic phenomenon on the planet, and she does not have to tolerate disrespect from anyone. Enter Breanna Stewart and Nisa Collier. As the founders of the brand new, highly lucrative, unrivaled basketball league, Stewart and Kier have been watching the absolute train wreck in Indiana very closely. They watched as Coach White disrespected the player who single-handedly saved the WNBA from financial ruin, and they decided that enough was enough. Behind closed doors, away from the prying eyes of WNBA Commissioner Kathy Angel-Burt, the executives of the unrivaled league made a massive, hyper-aggressive play.
And what were you thinking when it came to how you started this game?
Mind you, this is a part of coaching. The whole first 3 quarters, Aaliyah Boston was basically playing point guard. Jonquel Jones was tearing her ass up the whole first half. You know why? Jonquel Jones was actually playing center. She was posting up, getting busy in the paint. Meanwhile, Aaliyah Boston was hubbing around the three-point line, bringing the ball up the court more than Caitlin Clark. Take a listen to Jonquel Jones.
I was thinking that I really wanted to. I was like, who's talking right now? Jackie.
You're being quite theatrical. The theater is fun.
I'm just messing with you.
The theater is fun. It's theater.
I was just wanting to start the game aggressively. Again, going back to the matchups that we had with them previously, I felt like they were the team that kind of like set the tone with the level of aggression and I guess the level of intention to start the game. And I just wanted to make sure that I was doing my part to make sure that we came up with a different level of aggression and to be able to just kind of set the tone and let them know that like it wasn't going to be a night where everything was going to be easy for them, or that they were coming into our house and we just wanted things to be difficult.
And Stewie, for you, I guess just obviously with Leo in the fold and being able to put her out on the floor with lineups with you, with Rebecca Allen, I guess just what did you learn about what your defense is able to do?
Leo didn't have to do that much.
According to leaked reports from inside sources, Breanna Stewart and Nafa Collier personally called Caitlin Clark and offered her an unprecedented, fully guaranteed, multi-million-dollar contract to immediately quit the Indiana Fever and join their league. They offered her unprecedented ownership equity, complete control over her offensive system, and the absolute, ultimate promise, a coaching staff that would actually respect her and let her play her game. Lynn Clark didn't even hesitate, but the story does not end there, because Breanna Stewart and Nisa Collier were not just satisfied with stealing the WNBA's biggest golden goose. They wanted to make an absolutely ruthless example out of the Indiana Fever. In a shocking, completely unscripted press conference this morning, Stewart and Keir stepped up to the microphones and dropped a nuclear bomb on Stephanie White's career. They did not hold back. They did not use polite PR language.
Unrivaled struck a television deal with TNT. Now, this exclusive media rights deal is reported to be 45 plus primetime games. TNT Sports are also invested in the league, and sources say that it's a 6-year deal that could be worth more than $100 million. So a lot of the details of this television deal have not been revealed just yet, but there was one unconfirmed report that said that all this money might not be guaranteed to Unrivaled, and that they do have viewership goals for this first season and seasons to come. If that is true, then that's something to keep in mind when we talk about the offer that might be given to Caitlin Clark. Now, this is also interesting to me because I feel like it is kind of late in the game to start recruiting Caitlin Clark. The Unrivaled League has 26 of their 30 players already, and they have been announcing players for the past 3 months. And there has been speculation throughout the entire WNBA season.
They absolutely slammed the Indiana Fever head coach in front of the entire world. Breanna Stewart leaned into the microphone and reportedly said, "What happened in Indiana is a complete and utter disgrace to the game of basketball. Music, you have a generational, once-in-a-lifetime point guard, and you take her out of the offense because of your own personal insecurities. It is pathetic. It is disgusting coaching, and we are not going to let a toxic environment ruin the future of this sport. Music, we built the Unrivaled League to protect players from exact situations like this. Caitlin is safe with us now." Maya Collier followed up with a brutal knockout punch, stating Stephanie White should never be allowed to coach professional basketball ever again. She deliberately sabotaged her own team just to feed her ego. The WNBA failed to protect their star, so we did it for them.
Damn, I don't want to hear nothing about her missing them 2 damn free throws. Let's finish reading the tweets. Sick of this, man. Sick of this. Time and time again, we got to go through this. Ryan Loves Ball stated, Stephanie White is just anxious. Is just an atrocious coach. She has the best show on the planet, starting at point guard. And yet, we have to watch this boring motion offense trip. Caitlin basically has to force her looks since the set offense is to take the ball out of her hands. I didn't even want to speak about forcing shots. She forced shots against Dallas. She forced them again tonight. Caitlin Clark is a rhythmic player. She has to get in rhythm to play, to shoot well. And we ain't going to go over Caitlin points yet. I don't even know. I don't even remember how many damn points she got. I'm just so freaking mad. Shout out to Mar. Mar stated, when has this type of basketball ever won anything? You have the best point guard on the team acting like a shooting guard. Why in the hell are you playing the game the opposing team wants to play? And if you're going to play her at the 2, why aren't you drawing up plays for her? Because they're drawing up plays for Kelsey Mitchell. Live Wire stated, I'm annoyed. 2 games back-to-back. Stephanie White runs the offense, and the Fevers look like ish. Stagnant. Sets. No good screens. No push. Just ish. What product are y'all selling here?
The backlash from this press conference was immediate, catastrophic, and completely devastating inside the Indiana Fever facility. The situation has devolved into absolute, pure chaos. When the news of the $1 million unrivaled contract broke, and the footage of Stewart and Keir's brutal public execution of her coaching abilities played on the television screens, Stephanie White completely broke down. According to locker room attendants, Coach White was, music, seen completely breaking down in tears in her private office. The massive, arrogant ego that told her she could bench Caitlin Clark and get away with it has completely shattered into a million pieces. She is reportedly hyperventilating, crying uncontrollably, and furiously calling the front office, begging for help. But there is no help coming. She realizes exactly what she has done. She hasn't just lost a few games. She has literally chased away the most profitable, famous, and talented player the franchise will ever see.
Like $75,000 a year. She should be one of the top paid players in the world just for the sheer numbers that she's bringing. And I'm glad that a WNBA player is finally saying this out loud, admitting to it, because it has been so clear for so many people the Caitlin Clark effect that she has had on the WNBA this season. We have talked about it so much on this channel. She has raised overall viewership. Like Nafisa said, they're changing venues just to accommodate all the fans who want to come watch Caitlin Clark play. The list goes on, but there have been so many players, coaches, media personality who have been so afraid to just admit the fact that Caitlin Clark has been the sole reason for so many of these things happening this season in the WNBA. And so I'm really glad that Nafisa, being confident enough in herself, knowing that she is arguably the best player in the world, she is able to say these things out loud. However, I do think that this push for Caitlin Clark has come a little bit late in the game. I want to compare what were the rumblings that we're hearing about the offer that Unrivaled will make to Caitlin. I want to compare that to what Ice Cube offered Caitlin before the Big Three season began. I commend Ice Cube because you have to think about
the WNBA executives are currently in a state of absolute, unmitigated panic. Kathy Angel-Burt is reportedly screaming at the Indiana Fever ownership group over the phone. The league is staring down the barrel of an apocalyptic financial disaster, with Caitlin Clark officially leaving to play for Unrivaled. The massive television contracts are suddenly worthless. The sold-out arenas are going to be completely empty. Fortune 500 sponsors are already threatening to pull their funding because they paid to see number 22, not a crying head coach who ruined the team. Stephanie White's jealousy has literally bankrupted the WNBA, and the Unrivaled League just pulled off the greatest heist in the history of modern sports.
More people involved in. You're doing a brand new kind of 3-on-3 on a shorter court. It's brand new. It's going to be hard to get eyeballs on it. All of these, I mean, the WNBA is in their 28th season and it's still a new league. Like, it's hard to get the kind of virality, viewership, all the things that you want right off the bat. And especially if you don't have a big name or a big draw. You know, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. I think Caitlin was that person that they absolutely needed. So do I think Caitlin Clark should join Unrivaled? I'm not so sure. I think that the money needs to be high. It needs to be in the millions. It needs to be at least what Cube offered her for the Big Three at minimum. And even with that, Caitlin Clark doesn't need any money. She has plenty of endorsement deals. I think she is totally fine. And I think for her body and for her mental health, it might not be the best thing for her, because I can only imagine what it was like being in her shoes throughout this entire WNBA season. Not only the kind of physicality and double teams and face guards and all of those things that she was receiving on the court, but also all of the noise, all of the drama, all the like media circus surrounding her off the court. Like, that just had to have been so much to handle. And so I don't know if jumping right back into another league that has not been established yet. And for the record, I like Breanna Stewart. I love Nafisa Collier. I don't want this league to fail. I think basketball is great if we have another league. I think if it's similar to the Big Three and it gives women another place to go instead of going overseas during the offseason, I think that that's fantastic. I hope it does succeed. But I think Caitlin Clark stepping into a league that hasn't been established yet, through the firestorm that she has had to go through in the WNBA, who's to say that once she gets into Unrivaled, all of these narratives, all of these, your fan base is this, all of
the entire league is in a state of unprecedented chaos. WNBA owners are reportedly demanding that Stephanie White be fired immediately and publicly humiliated, just to appease the angry mobs of fans who are currently canceling their season tickets by the thousands. But it is already too late. The damage is done. Onier got no REA, and the deceit law denied the Manal Gandas and likes to up 10 Cypus of a lead that actually values her. And she is never looking back now. I need to hear from every single one of you watching this absolute madness right now. Go absolutely crazy in the comments section down below. Are you cheering for Caitlin Clark taking music, this $1 million Unrivaled deal to escape that toxic locker room? Do you agree with Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier absolutely music, destroying Stephanie White on national television? And how happy does it make you to know that Coach White is currently crying in her office, knowing she ruined her own career?
It's ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous, man. The Indiana Fever, just Leonie Feebage being back was big for the New York Liberty. Leonie Feebage had 20 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds in her return. She had a hell of a second half. She started shooting the cover off the ball from the 3-point line. Sabrina Ionescu had 12 points, 4 assists. She wasn't very impactful. 1 of 5 from 3. Jonquel Jones, 19 and 10. Brianna Stewart, 22, 8 and 7. She balled. But I thought Michaela Timpson battled with Brianna Stewart. I thought Maisha Hines-Allen and Brianna and Michaela Timpson battled their ass off down there. Aaliyah Boston missed the key layup, man. We could have went up 1. She missed the key layup. But at the end of the day, this falls on coaching, man. The head coach made the decision to play the center at point guard for the first 3 quarters of this game, pretty much. She decided to have Aaliyah Boston play point guard. Aaliyah Boston brought the ball up the floor more than anybody else in this game. More than Kelsey Mitchell, more than Caitlin Clark, more than Sophie. Shout out to Sophie, man. Sophie, you passed the ball to Caitlin and you knocked down a couple threes. Sophie had 10 off the bench. Sophie and Maisha Hines-Allen look like our only playable players off the bench. It just is what it is. This Indiana Fever team's not good, but Stephanie White.
Let your voices be heard loud and clear down in the comments, because I promise you, the terrified WNBA executives are reading every single word. If you want the real, unfiltered truth about this massive unrivaled league contract and the total collapse of the Indiana Fever, you need to smash that like button and subscribe to Clark Fever Hoops right now. Turn on those bell notifications, because the very second Stephanie White gets officially fired, we are going to be breaking it all down. Keep holding the line, and I will see you in the next one.